Welcome to Family Favorites. I'm your hostess, Gail, and this is my lovely assistant, Bella.
Hi, it's a pleasure.
Today we're making apple crisp. So Bella is going to start by peeling the apples.
Yes.
She uses this apple corer.
Which makes it easy, or you could always get an apple core, a different model online. That makes it slightly easier.
Now while she is coring and peeling 2 apples, I'm going to make the streusel topping. It's very simple to do this. 1/4 cup of butter. It helps if it's a little bit on the soft side to begin with, and we will need the microwave.
Yes, ma'am.
So 30 seconds in the microwave. Very good. All right, you may continue that.
And don't forget to preheat your oven ahead of time, because it makes it a lot easier, because you can just get it right in and it'll be done earlier.
450 is a good temperature. That's warmer than we do a lot of cooking, but it helps pre-soften the apples. And it's only going to be cooking for about 15 minutes anyway.
Oh, there goes one.
Okay. We have a nice little corningware dish. The other ingredients that you will need, well, looks like it's ready, so we'll get it. There. We now have some melted butter. The next thing that we add is 1/3 cup of brown sugar. Now, have you ever gone in to get your brown sugar and found it hard as a rock?
Yeah, I usually don't use it too much, and it just sits for a while.
That's very frustrating. And I have found that if you keep it in a plastic container, plastic bag, and seal it, it will be softer and more malleable. And also, when you're measuring brown sugar, it isn't loose. You're supposed to press it down like this. You can use the light colored brown sugar or the dark, whatever you have handy. And if it turns out that you don't have, that your sugar is too hard, which has happened to me, there is a way to try to prevent that, but I will get to that later. I'm going to add the brown sugar to the melted butter. Always use a fork for this. Streusel, you know, is the topping for Dutch apple pie.
Now, why would you use a fork instead of a spoon, like usually with other recipes?
I'm not sure why, but it works better for me. So right now it's kind of a little brown mess. Now we add up to 1/2 cup of flour, but we'll start with 1/4 cup at a time.
I am butchering these apples.
That's okay, they're going to be emulsified anyway. Stirring around. It was kind of syrupy and soupy before, but you can see that it's forming little tiny sort of brown pebbles. And we'll add another 1/4 cup. The nice thing about streusel is you can keep adding of one or the other ingredient until it's the consistency that you like. You can, of course, do this in a metal dish, but you can't put a metal dish in the microwave. So this is very handy. One dish does both.
And it's so clever with the yellow, so that way it doesn't stain. At least it doesn't show. Like usual, it would stain your other kitchen bowls, etc. So it's clever to use a yellow bowl.
Now, can you get a good shot of this? This is streusel. Now, the other thing you can do if you really have only brown sugar that's hard as a rock, I've discovered there's a way to sort of get around that, but it's helpful to use prevention instead of that. I take a small saucepan, put on the stove, and then a rack of some sort over it, and take a plastic bag with the hard rock brown sugar in it and let it steam for a few minutes. Because basically it's hard because it's lost all the moisture. So the steam will come in, and actually you can manipulate it or pound it into submission with a rolling pin. And it is possible to salvage some hard brown sugar. Okay, how are we coming?
I got just a couple slices left.
Excellent. This is such a lovely family recipe. And also, if you want, you can double the amount of streusel that you make and save half of it so that you've done half the work already in advance.
Now with the apples, is there a reason why you would cut them up into smaller pieces?
Yes, it's easier to chew that way. We don't want knife and fork apple pie. Okay, very good.
Yes.
Now, we don't want it cooking just like this. It needs some liquid. And apple juice is just the right thing. So for this size container, probably a 1/4 cup of apple juice will do. If you don't have apple juice, it's okay to use water, but it's nice to
Adds more
emphasize
flavor.
the apple flavor, because you will know it's done. Give it a little bit more. When you see it bubbling. Now, what would apple be without cinnamon? Just sprinkle it on there. You can't really put too much.
Sure about that?
Bella likes to push the envelope here.
Obviously, sweet tooth, as natural.
All right, so now the streusel, of course. All right.
Gotta have that crunchy texture.
Yes. This is with light colored brown sugar. You want it to get into all the nooks and crannies.
Yum, it smells so good. Smells like apples and cinnamon.
Well, that's what it's supposed to smell.
Cinnamon.
Okay, now we'll put it in.
All right.
It's
Bottom or top?
Let's put it in the bottom.
Okay.
A little farther.
Don't do what I just did. Use a glove.
Well, it's time for us to take out our apple crisp. It smells delicious.
It does. Oh my goodness.
You can't miss with cinnamon.
Oh, so excited.
Here is our baby, complete with, careful, 10-minute streusel. So we hope you try this. It's very nice to have, especially in cold weather, but it's also very easy to whip up when you have company. And so
I also love, like, if you have company over and you totally forgot to go to the store for dessert, this is perfect. You can just make it in a moment.
15 minutes and then another 15 in the oven.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So please join us next time for more family favorites. And there's nothing like happy cooking
With friends.